listen, we can be smart and goofy at the same time, and that's like
fun,
my
right?
fundamental personality. But like that's what we should be doing is like, and I think that's kind of the legacy of queerness in the world is like we are going to be revolutionaries. We are going to throw bricks, but we're going to look so good while we do it.
Yeah.
Welcome to Bitch Talk. I'm your host, Erin.
And I'm co-host Ange, aka Captain Party.
And for more than 11 years, the show has celebrated underrepresented voices in pop culture and beyond.
But not in the snore kind of way, which is why our listeners and followers have graciously voted us Best of the Bay, Best Podcast on 48 Hills for 3 years in a row. Three-peat, bitches.
If you like what you hear, follow us on Instagram and check out our website, Bitch Talk Podcast, and rate us wherever you listen to podcasts.
We're begging you to judge us. When does that ever happen? Oh, you're not going to say anything?
Oh, what'd I say?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, on that note, on with the show. Clink.
All right, Bitch Talkers and Storied San Francisco listeners, we have a crossover today because we're talking about Frameline Film Festival. It's number 49, which is crazy. And we're talking with the executive director, Allegra Madsen. She's been on before.
I have.
And we're excited to have her back because she's a total vibe. So we all had to wear our Nikes. That's a whole thing. We'll have a picture. And we're going to start this off with Jeff from Storied talking with Allegra.
Yeah. Hey, Allegra.
Hey.
It's nice to see you again.
I just want to, you too. I just want to point out occasionally I do wear Adidas. It's not always.
This interview's over.
Nikes. I have no brand allegiance, but I'm open to sponsorship.
We are too.
Correct.
Here is
Correct.
open.
All of the
No,
above.
we're love for all the shoes, but your shoes are always
Your
on
game,
point. That's what
your
we're saying.
game is always on.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. You know, game recognizes game.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, that leads me to first when we met you last year at the launch party at Oasis. Besides everything that you talked about and presented, we were like really close to the stage. We saw your shoes. We're like, we need to know this person. And listeners of Storied will know that we have done a couple episodes with you already. One kind of about you, but I want to go back to talking about this year's Frameline. And this year's launch party at the Oasis, which was, I think, just as spectacular in a weirdly different lens because of what's happening all around us, the world blowing up and being on fire and smelling bad and things like that. So, but I was like, I was solo that night and I came home and I was probably just like going, these guys probably wanted me to shut up, but I was like, you guys, Frameline this year is lit. So
thank you.
Yeah, and just quickly, I just want to mention that the program that night was a newspaper. That's a super exciting, cool addition to the Frameline
Merch
potpourri.
Accessories?
So I just want to hear from you, like what maybe the last year, and then there were inflection points on the way, setting up for this year's 49th Frameline Film Festival, how that's been.
It's hard. This is not easy. I know I started out the launch this year like I'm tired. Mm-hmm. I am tired. This is an exhausting moment. It feels like we're like it's coming at us from every direction. And like, how do you just keep persevering? How do you just keep going? And it's, although I just wanted to be really honest with people, like it's exhausting, but we just don't have time to wallow in that. Like we just don't have time. We have a whole legacy behind us that we're building on. We've gone through, as a queer community, as women, as people of color, we have gone through a whole hell of a lot. We are standing on the shoulders of generations that have gotten us this far. We owe it to them to keep going. And then we have all these kids looking at us who are like, just expanding the landscape of what it means to be queer right now. And we owe it to them to like make sure that there's a foundation for them to grow. So although I was exhausted, it was like, we ain't got ain't nobody got time for that. So let's keep going. And that's why I'm just incredibly proud to be able to lead this organization. I want to double down on the identity-based programming and the identity-based work that's out in the world, because like it's through our specific stories that we can get to like amazing universal truths. And if we don't honor our specific stories, you know, there's no there's no authenticity. Is that what you?
Yeah.
Is that what you took away? I don't know.
That's what you can say that I can't say.
And that's why she's the executive director.
Correct, yeah. And I just mop the floors.
But also the newspaper piece. 'Cause
Yeah.
It is
Oh.
it is special.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I wanted this year, like, the world is watching us. What is happening with our country at large? What we do in response to what is happening right now? It's being observed and it's being watched. And so that's the theme: is the world is watching. They're looking to us. We are a model right now. And, you know, particularly San Francisco is a model for the rest of the world. Like how we deal with this moment is going to be incredibly important. And also, I wanted to get back to this idea of news as news. Like we kind of live in this world of algorithmic content, and we're given it, and we're like spoon fed it all the time, and I love it. Like it's candy. I want to go home and I just want Netflix to play, and you know, and that's fine. But the stories that we amplify, the stories that we pay attention to, they have power and they shape the world. And so I want to get back to this moment of celebrating like human connections and events and happenings. I don't know what I'm trying to go for, that are like curated by human hands. And I think film festivals, San Francisco, we're lucky to have a whole bunch, are very much curated and thoughtfully put together by human beings. So when you enter the world of a film festival, like you can be sure that everything there is intentional. And that's kind of why I wanted to go back to the newspaper, because it seemed like there was a time when that's what you felt when you got your news. Like this was intentional, this is important. I know that you're supposed to be unobjective with news, but like there's a value judgment, and saying like having people that you trust tell you that this is good and this is important I think it's an important part of our culture that we shouldn't just let slip away.
But you also kept it light and fun with the jumble and horoscopes, correct?
Well, I mean, that's who I... Listen, we can be smart and goofy at the same time, and that's like my fundamental personality. But like that's what we should be doing, is like, and I think that's kind of the legacy of queerness in the world, is like we are going to be revolutionaries, we are going to throw bricks, but we're going to look so good while we do it.
Yep.
I'm so glad you said that, because that's a perfect segue into what I wanted to talk about. So we say this every year when we cover Frameline, but it's worth mentioning again that it was founded in 1977. It's the longest running, the largest, and the most widely recognized LGBTQ plus film festival in the world. So it's strong eldest child vibes, right? Like you got to lead the way.
I didn't say this at launch, but we're perimenopausal, y'all.
That is, I own that shit. I love it. I'm totally perimenopausal. I got a fan right here in case of emergency. But
There was subtext.
But at the same time, Jeff and I are the youngest. We're the babies of the family. This festival has baby vibes too, because you know how to throw a party. It's a good time. So let's talk about the parties, starting with opening night and everything that you've curated along the way.
Well, then I'm going to get serious again, but I'll save that. So we are doing our first Friday party. We do know how to throw a party. I feel like, in some ways I feel like we're the baby film festival of the Bay, but that's not age. It's just state of mind. So this year we're going to be at Charmaine's rooftop at the Proper Hotel. We are doing it in conjunction with our first Friday screening. So our big party is going to be on Friday, not opening night. And that will be with heightened scrutiny, which I think combines the two things that we are talking about. Heightened scrutiny is I think it's the documentary of our moment. It follows Trace Strangio, the first out trans lawyer to argue in front of the Supreme Court about the U.S. versus Scarametti case, which is about Tennessee's ban on gender-affirming care for kids, which is it's all very heavy. Also, this doc really highlights the media's role in shaping policy and how the stories that we tell and how opinions right now are shaping policy, and that is a really interesting moment to exist in. This film also kind of chronicles what it was like for queer people or people of our political I'm assuming, I don't know about all you podcast listeners out there, but I'm assuming a certain bent, what it was like to go through this most recent election. I wanted to put the party here because this was a heavy moment. It was hard, and we need to all be in community with one another, and we need to toast that we've made it this far, toast that the battle will continue, and we need to have just a regular good time. I did make this joke at launch, but we queers know how to have a good time, and I'll buy a drink for anybody who does the worm at the party.
Attempts or does? Because I could attempt.
It's got to be a full-fledged.
Okay.
Don't hurt yourself.
How much time do I have?
It's not worth it.
Does the drink come before or after?
Well,
will you provide the physical therapy needed afterwards?
we will have a massage chair.
Perry Many, Allegra. Okay.
I read the SF Chronicle piece about you and about Frameline, talking about the NEA grants or lack thereof, and the latest guidelines, which can I talk about that really quickly, which are it's ridiculous. The NEA new guideline projects that take place between 2026 and 2027 will be looked at, or maybe not guaranteed funding, but taken into consideration, are things that celebrate and honor the 250th anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence. I kind of laughed out loud this morning when I read that. And then they also canceled the Challenge America category, which helped make the arts more accessible to underserved communities. So this affects Frameline. So can you talk about what that looks like, not only for Frameline, but for a lot of Bay Area festivals in general and arts orgs?
Luckily for Frameline, we are not losing funding that will be critical to our survival. We also have an amazing community that supports us, and so while it is never easy to lose giant chunks of money, we will be able to carry on. There are other arts organizations, there are other film teams, there are other organizations that this will be. I don't want to be too light about it, but this could spell the end for some other organizations, other films that we will never get to see. I did momentarily debate about how I could parallel queer history with the signing of the Declaration of Independence. And I was like, oh, I could probably shape something. And then I was like, do I really want to spend my time? So I'm not.
I would watch that though.
I would, if I didn't have anything else to do, I would write that paper.
Maybe we should create a Declaration of Independence.
You've also got roughly another year.
I do have another year, so if I get some downtime, maybe on vacation, I'll just do some light historical, whatever. Yeah. So, what I think is really the reality of what's happening is I think there's an attempt to erase the value system that we as citizens of this country, of citizens of the world, have worked to establish for a very long time. And there is a concerted effort to erase that value system, and then like what's at the bottom of our values and morals, and those are the stories that we tell each other. So it just reinvigorates for me the need to do what we do, what I do, what you all do, is just to keep telling stories and offering a multitude of points and counterpoints, and I'm just gonna do it in any way that I can make it happen. And like these ridiculous funding attacks will keep coming. I do believe that there's an attack on our nonprofit state and in general, which is incredibly scary. But like, we just got to keep going.
Mm-hmm. So I just want you to talk a little bit about some of the specific Bay Area subject matter, San Francisco subject matter, in this year's Frameline Film Festival, specifically Assembly and Valencia. Those two really stood out for me, movies I want to see.
Interestingly enough, both of them are giant ensemble pieces with that I don't know. It's cheesy to say it takes a village, but I guess it takes a village. Assembly is it follows Rashad Newsom as he turns a New York City like warehouse into this site of exploration of Black identity and creativity, and he uses dance and the history of dance and drag culture and ballroom and mixes it in with I think his digital griot named Being, who is an AI robot that has been fed almost exclusively Black liberation content. So it's wildly different than your Chat GPT results. And for me, this have y'all seen Sinners yet?
Twice.
Yeah, twice.
Yeah, me 3 times. So
Yeah.
here we are.
Aspirations.
I know. You too. But it's like that. To me, I was really reminded of that centerpiece moment where you had like the history, the current, and the future all like blended together in this act of creativity. For me, Assembly really hits that vibe. And that'll be at the Herps, and that'll be followed by a party at Oasis with the crew from Reparations, and Rashad is going to do some bespoke visuals for the night there at Oasis, so that should be really cool.
Awesome.
And then Michelle T's Valencia. So it is the 25th anniversary of Michelle T's book Valencia, which was this. It was this beckoning call to every baby dyke in the country to come to San Francisco and carve out your own little piece of DIY punk rock heaven. And so this film was made. So it's the 25th anniversary of the book. So we're bringing the film back to watch again. And I think they're like, I can't remember how many, like 1 million different directors. There's like 1 million different Michelle T's that kind of stitch this story together. Michelle will be here, and we'll be doing a walking tour of old dyke destinations in the Mission and doing little snippets of readings from the book after the film. And then we'll end up at Mother Bar so that we can, remember the dyke lands past and support the future ones.
Hell yes.
Oh my God, that is so exciting.
You.
Ooh, okay. Not only are you playing a crazy wide selection of really exciting films and short films, but you're also creating a lot of different opportunities for allyship moving forward. So I'd love for you to talk about your Pay It Forward initiative. There's the Queer to Queer campaign. Like, it's not just a film festival, it's an opportunity for people to really step up.
What I love about what I get to do is that we are an amazing cultural institution, but we are also very community-based and community-focused, and we are building our community. And I love that those two things can be stitched together. Like we talked about in the funding landscape, it is bleak, and we need to depend on our friends, our allies, and our community to help support all of this. So the Pay It Forward campaign is with heightened scrutiny. Like I said, that movie, I feel like everyone needs to see it, and I also feel that there should be no boundaries to trans or non-binary people being in community that night and seeing that film. It is likely that the decision of the Scrimeti case will come down sometime this month, perhaps even during the festival itself. No way to know. So with that one, we've created a mechanism by which you can buy a ticket for yourself, but you can also donate and buy a ticket for a trans or non-binary person. If you are a trans or non-binary person, you can just go on the website and select that ticket, and it is yours. There's nothing. The ticket's yours. Just grab it.
Did you want to talk about the queer?
Oh, and also the Queer to Queer program is, so we're an international festival. We try to bring films from literally around the world. I keep talking about how there are 2 films from Croatia this year, and I don't know why that one has stuck in my mind, but like there are 2 films from Croatia, and these film teams want to come and be a part of San Francisco, experience their film in the queerest city in the world, and as a organization, we bring filmmakers out. We provide lodging and experiences for filmmakers. So what we've done is essentially community members can adopt a film. You can get a group of friends together to adopt a film. You can do it yourself, and you get name recognition at the film itself. You get a little meet and greet with the film team, and we shout you out at the screening, give you a packet of tickets, and you're really helping us take on this film and making sure that this experience happens for this film team.
Before we wrap, I do want to talk about kind of going back to what I read in the Chronicle piece, and also about what you just talked with Ange about. That part of the festival feels like coalition building, which you talked about in this piece. For you, what does that look like? And also, I think the Bay Area, we are still somehow in the doom loop, but also we're having these high peaks of, Ruby Ibarra was just on Tiny Desk, E40 on Tiny Desk. Yeah.
He was at the first Valkyries game.
Correct. He was, yeah. We'll talk about that later. But yeah, the Valkyries, the WNBA, we have major peaks going on. Frameline 49, the oldest LGBTQIA film festival. What does that look like in coalition building? And have you dreamt about what that actually looks like?
First, somebody pointed out that Doom Loop is just pool mood backwards. So that's what I often think about.
That's a shirt. That's a shirt.
Can we?
Yeah. Okay. I mean,
we have 3 shirts we have to make now. Oh.
Okay.
So
thank you.
If you are not in a pool mood, no, you cannot be a part of the coalition. I'm kidding. What does it look like? I want to create pathways for mutual support that is beneficial to both organizations or people. What it doesn't look like is it can't be performative. We don't have time for performative partnerships right now. We have to be able to create mutual value. We're also partnering with CA Film to do a Pride showcase where it's a sneak peek of some of the Frameline 49 films in Mill Valley. And the reason this is exciting and fun to me is that it helps me as an organization get in front of an audience that isn't mine, and to talk about some of these things and to talk about allyship. In front of an audience that may not come to the city. So and for them, it's we get this programming for us, we get this audience, and we have this symbiotic sort of relationship, which I think is really important. I don't know if that answers the question, but it's how can we build this together, and how can we bring in other groups and make sure both of our needs are supported?
I just, to that point too, and why I mentioned the people I did and the things that I did, is we're all kind of doing the same thing. Why aren't we all just doing it all together? Because I just think there's a lot of value to that.
It's it's a weird time and it's scary, and we have operated a certain way, and capitalism, whatever. I think there are ways to support each other that don't have to be divisive. We don't have to. If there's no money, we don't have to both be competing for it. So we can. I mean, the upside of.
No resources.
Sure, no resources. Yeah, I mean, maybe this will be the upside. I don't know.
But we have to look at it that way. Like, we have to be able to. Okay, well, that's that. Like, how do we build forward? How do we move forward if this is the new paradigm?
Okay, we know you're really busy and we got to let you go, but here at Bitch Talk, we're starting this news section called This Bitch, and it's an opportunity for our guests to either highlight somebody that you really want to give props to or vent, and I'm going to leave it up to you. Who would be your This Bitch for the moment?
Oh my God, you didn't prepare me.
I know, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
I mean, I could have been more, I want to say out loud that I would have been more creative for those of you out there who are disappointed in this decision that I'm about to make. But one person who won't be disappointed in this decision would be my wife. I do want to shout out that bitch right there. Not only does she hold it down for me when I'm going insane and listens to me when I'm like, this movie didn't call me back, blah blah blah, but she also runs she also is on the mental health team of a health nonprofit that provides services to low income individuals, and they are being just brutalized by the funding cuts right now. And they also provide gender affirming care for folks in the world, but they aren't allowed to say it anymore. And she's going through it and she's handling it like a goddamn champ. Also, I do want to point out that this bitch right there, she did not know who Bone Thugs and Harmony was, and she did not know about the first of the month until I told her, but she has done her research. She has
it
come
her favorite
around.
song now?
She has come around, and she did bop with me with E40 at the Valkyries game. So, there's hope.
Also, those bitches, Valkyries.
Yeah, those
Cheers
bitches.
to that.
Their dance team, those bitches right there.
The Violet something? Yes.
Yeah, the intergenerational.
Yes, it's the best thing I've ever seen.
Thank you.
And also, it's like, I know my place on that team also when you watch this. Sorry, it's like kids to the elders, and we know who we are.
There's newfound joy in the city because of the Valkyries. It's crazy. Yeah. It's a special time.
It really is, like walking to the game and everybody's in their purple looking good. It's, yeah.
I saw someone wearing a Valkyries hoodie once, and I was like, oh, Valu. Oh, sorry, what's her name? Valu? Van Loo. I was like, when Van Loo hit those back-to-back threes, they didn't even know who I was talking about. So people are repping, and they don't even care. They just want to be part of it, and that's cool.
I love it both ways. I love it if they were like, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Or they're like, I don't know. I just like purple.
Yeah. All right, we have gone off the rails. We really threw you a loop here.
You did.
I'm so sorry with this bitch. Yeah,
she's gonna email us later. I have another. Come back.
You just wait. You're gonna get 10 pages.
Yeah.
Well, I will have to come back, and I will come back prepared.
Yeah, okay. But you're actually the first guest we asked this of, so True. Thank you for rolling with that. We've been talking with the executive director of Frameline, Allegra Madsen. Thank you so much for being on Bitch Talk and Storied San Francisco.
Yay, I love being in this crossover universe.
Yeah, we love Frameline, so thank you so much.
We love y'all.
Thanks for joining us on today's show. You can find more information about this episode in our show notes.
If you're missing us, you can visit us at bitchtalkpodcast.com to sign up for our newsletter and buy us a cup of coffee.
Did you know we're also on the radio? You can find us at bff.fm.
And lastly, rate and subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. All the cool bitches are doing it.